Okay, everyone, I'm going to show you how to edit your picture so it can be ready for a grid. Okay, so you have a photo you've taken. You're going to go up to the top right, edit. By the way, I'm in the photo app, the just basic photo app. And then I'm going to crop this, and by going up to the crop, or down to the crop tool, at the very bottom. Okay. I could either do it like this, right, where I'm just kind of eyeballing it, but I really need it to be a certain ratio. So what I'm going to do is have you go to the top right, see the little rectangles inside of each other. That is like the ratio tool. Like I can do square, I can do freeform, which is what is the normal setting. But what we're going to do is scroll over to 2, 3, because our picture is a 12 by 18 paper. That's how our paper is going to be. All right, so that's how I want it to look. I can, adjust it, kind of figure out what I want to crop out, what I don't. And you can also do this if you want it to be like a wide picture. It really depends on the setup of your photo. What looks better, works better, what has the best movement, balance, that kind of thing. Okay, and one more thing you can do, it's an option, is you can edit this. If I know this is going to be a black and white drawing, it might be a lot easier to go ahead and make it black and white. This is a lot of contrast, little bit, right? I can make that black and white to make it easier to draw and shade with a pencil, right? I'm going to click done now. All right, now I'm going to go over to griddrawingtool.com, okay? And on griddrawingtool.com, you're going to, let me go set this up. And to the very beginning here, I've already done this once, so you can see I had it finished. But griddrawingtool.com is super helpful. And obviously getting a grid on your picture. I'm trying to see which one. Oh yeah, mine's a black and white one now. All right, and we have all kinds of options to pick here, but it looks like it loaded. If yours doesn't load, it's because your picture's too big. So if you just take a screenshot, it generally gets it a small enough photo. All right, I could go to these next couple of steps, but I'm just gonna skip all the way over to grid, which is the far right little tab right there. You see step 5. So it automatically puts a grid on it of 5 boxes wide. I don't really want that. By the way, if you hate grids, but you wanna benefit from just having a simple grid on there, one thing I do is, let me click on that really quick, is something called a crosshair grid. To do that, you got to do 2 boxes wide, and you got to uncheck that. This will allow you to just do a simple half grid. So, whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Go back to 2. So just like a 2 by 2 grid. And because I unchecked the square, all I have to do is put a line in the middle and a line in the middle. And what makes it easier is it just breaks it down at least into quarters, So this is what a simple grid looks like. Even students that hate grids will a lot of times do this because it just helps them get at least everything in the right quarter of the page, if that makes sense. But normally, most of us will keep that checked and then have at least a grid of 2 by 3. Okay, some that I think a lot of y'all would probably end up liking is the 4. It depends on your subject, but if your subject's really complicated, this breaks them into really simple shapes, like really simple stuff. So, and each box would end up being, I think, about maybe 3 inches wide. So they're still big boxes. They're not tiny, but they do help you break down a complicated subject into easier parts. All right, I already applied grid. I can always change the color if I wanted to. I could change the width of the pixels if I wanted to. The width of the grid lines. Anyway, so I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and click download, and there it is. I don't know if I can save it the regular way. I think I'm just gonna screenshot it just for time's sake. Makes it a little easier. All right, and there we have it. So go ahead and see if you could put a grid on yours.